Om Om Sri Gurubhyom Namaha. Om Sri Krishna Parabrahmane Namaha. Om Sri Matre Namaha. ప్రియాత్మ బంధువులారా, ఈరోజు మహాశివరాత్రి పుణ్యదినం. మనం so far we have completed 57 sessions of Bhagavad Gita Zoom sessions. So today we are entering the 58th session. So the first question in today's session is, can we trust the Bhagavad Gita? Somebody has asked this question. My answer is, you must first of all understand the significance of human body before understanding about Bhagavad Gita. So, significance of human body is told in the following sloka. Chaturasiti lakshesu sarireshu saririnam na manushyam vinayatra tatvajnanam tu labhyate. The meaning of the sloka is, out of 84 lakhs of different living bodies, the chance to attain Tattvajnanam cannot be obtained in any living body except the human body. So, significance of Bhagavad Gita is, if you look at the following sloka further, Pardhaya pratibodhitam bhagavata narayanena swayam vyasena kreditam puranam madhye mahabharatam Advaitamrita Varshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatvam Anusandhadami Bhagavad Gita Bhavadveshinim. So God himself, that is Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam, has preached Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, the Pandava prince. So Bhagavad Gita preaches and rains the nectar of Advaita philosophy on its readers. So if you don't trust the words of God, and if you don't utilize the present human body which you have got after 84 lakhs of other living bodies, as given in the above two slokas, to attain Tattvajnanam, you will be terribly a loser. That means you are losing the opportunity to attain the Tattvajnanam. So trusting or not trusting Bhagavad Gita is your personal prerogative. I have nothing to say on this. However, I quote a couple of slokas from the Bhagavad Gita told by Lord Sri Mahavishnu in the form of Lord Sri Krishna himself as follows. God said, Shraddhavan labhate jnanam tatparasam yatendriyaha jnanam labdva param chanti matirena adhigacchati. This is 39th sloka in 4th chapter, 4-39. The meaning is, the man who is full of faith, who is devoted to it, and who has subdued all the senses, obtains this knowledge, and having obtained the knowledge, he goes at once to the supreme peace. Next sloka, 4-40, that also I am reciting. Ajñascha sraddhadanascha samsayatma vinasyati nayam lokostina parona sukham samsayatmanaha. Meaning of the sloka 4-40 is, the ignorant, the faithless, the doubting self proceeds to destruction. There is neither this world nor the other, nor happiness for the doubting people. So you take your own decision on trusting or not of the Bhagavad Gita. So that is my answer to the questioner. Next question is, who preached the Bhagavad Gita? Somebody is asking. My answer is, there are so many Gitas called as Rubhu Gita, Shiva Gita, Ashtavakra Gita, Avadhuta Gita, Brahma Gita, Vasishta Gita, Ganesha Gita, Hanumad Gita, Parasara Gita, Harita Gita, Hamsa Gita, Bhikshu Gita, Kapila Gita, Devi Gita, etc., etc. But only one taught by Lord Sri Krishna to Arjuna in Dwapara Yugam during the Kurukshetra war is called as Bhagavad Gita. When it is taught by Lord Sri Krishna, it should have been called as Krishna Gita. Instead, it is called as Bhagavad Gita. This shows that Bhagavad Gita is above races and religions. That is why Westerners like Max Muller, Carlyle, Emerson, Edwin Arnold, Besant, etc. had reformed their lives through Bhagavad Gita and propagated the same among public. Edwin Arnold had even translated Bhagavad Gita into English, entitled as The Song Celestial. Description of the Bhagavad Gita authored by Edwin Arnold. The product description is a classic work of Hindu scripture. The Bhagavad Gita is the story of Prince Arjuna, who is faced with a decision with serious moral consequence, the decision to go to war. With the armies arrayed on the battlefield, Arjuna, in a moment of hesitation, is counseled by Vishnu, the supreme god, who takes the form of Krishna, wearing the disguise of a charioteer. A classic tale of Hindu spirituality, the Bhagavad Gita provides a great insight into dealing with the morally ambiguous challenges that face us all. I am now telling about the author, Edwin Arnold himself. Sir Edwin Arnold, 1832-1904, was an English author. After serving as principal of the government college in Pune, India, he joined in 1861 the staff of the London Daily Telegraph. He won fame for his blank verse epic, The Light of Asia, 1879, dealing with the life of Buddha. The poem was attacked for its alleged distortion of Buddhist doctrine and for its tolerant attitude toward a non-Christian religion. Besides other volumes of poetry, he wrote a number of picturesque travel books and translated Asian literature, including the Bhagavad Gita. So you can say that God, in the form of Lord Sri Krishna, preached Bhagavad Gita. Hari Om. Next question. Somebody is asking, should we have trust in the Bhagavad Gita and the Ramacharita or not? My answer is, you can have 100% faith in both Bhagavad Gita as well as Ramacharita. Bhagavad Gita is told by Lord Sri Krishna himself, and Ramacharita is written by Tulsidas, one of the greatest devotees of Lord Sri Rama. The present generation people want all proofs for anything about Ramayana, Mahabharata, Bhagavad Gita, etc. When learned people with their life's experience are telling naked truths for their benefit, they suspect authenticity and genuineness. I really don't know to convince them. Spiritual matters are not like Ohm's law, where V is equal to IR, that is the Ohm's law, where V is voltage in volts, I is current in amperes, and R is resistance in ohms. Ohm's law can be proved with a rheostat, voltmeter, and ammeter. But God cannot be seen with eyes, cannot be heard with ears, cannot be smelt with nostrils, cannot be felt by taste, touch, etc. until the devotee attains a status eligible to receive God's grace. It is the God who decides to give his darshan or not to the devotees. But the God decides when to declare the devotees that he or she passes the test. For myself and my wife, God declared and expressed satisfaction after we attended a 99th yajna. Each yajna, for clarification, I am telling, our Guru used to conduct on 3 consecutive days, and he used to count that as one yajna. So like that, we attended 99 yajnas by then. 99 into 3 is 297 days. God said, after completing the 99th yajna, we returned home, we did our japam, and we were relaxing, myself and my wife. At that time, God said, I am fully satisfied with your devotion and dedication with this yajna. It is up to you whether you would like to stop or continue in attending further yajnas. My wife immediately said, shall we stop attending further yajnas? I said, 99 is an odd figure. My wife said, shall we attend up to 100 yajnas? I said, let us attend up to 108 yajnas and stop further. Accordingly, myself and my wife attended up to 108 yajnas and decided to stop attending further yajnas continuously. We informed Guruji accordingly and stopped further attending mandatorily. That means earlier we used to compulsorily attend whenever we get a message from our Swamiji that there is yajnam at such and such place. We used to go by 7 o'clock and return late in the evening. So may God forgive the ignorance of the present generation people for their lack of faith in the scriptures and the advices of the experienced elders, words on God and God matters. Hari Om. Next question. Somebody is asking, what is the best author and book for Bhagavad Gita? The slokas containing meaning with good explanation. My answer is, the best author is Sri Sadguru Maharshi Malayala Swami. Best book, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, written by Sri Sadguru Maharshi Malayala Swami in Telugu, entitled Gita Artha Prakashamu. The true meaning and the best explanation given to each sloka will make you understand the Bhagavad Gita. Sadguru Maharshi Malayala Swami did great tapas for 12.5 years on Tirumala Hills near Gogarbha Tapovanam. That is 1 kilometer away from Lord Sri Venkateswara's temple on the way to Papanasam. A big ashram is there now, and there are about 70 rooms also constructed for the benefit of pilgrims visiting Lord Venkateswara. That is the place where Malayala Swami did tapas, and that is now called Gogarbha Tapovanam. There is a bookstall right opposite the main table and opposite to Rambagita guest house. There all books written by Malayala Swami are available. He wrote about 57 books on the Hindu scriptural texts and different aspects of spiritual practices to attain divinity or moksha. About other books I have written in other answers to similar questions which you may consult. Hari Om. Next question. Somebody is asking, which author's English translation of the Bhagavad Gita would you recommend? My answer is, Swami Vidya Prakashanandagiri wrote Gita Makarandam in Telugu. Its English translation is available. As Swamiji is an enlightened soul, his Gita Makarandam is very good to read and understand and practice. Hari Om. Next question, somebody is asking, I am scared that I will never be able to use my capacities because of all my fear. What does the Bhagavad Gita says about such things? So this is the question. My answer is, Bhagavad Gita talks about divine qualities in chapter 16. The very first quality among divine qualities is Abhayam. Abhayam means to have fearlessness. If you have fear, you must cultivate as to how to get rid of that. Read 16-1, 16-2 and 16-3 slokas of Bhagavad Gita, which give you the full account of all the divine qualities to be acquired by all the human beings. The slokas giving about the divine qualities are given below with their meaning. Sri Bhagavan Vacha. Abhayam sattva samsuddhi jnana yoga vyavastitah Dhanam damascha yajnascha swadhyaya tapadyam. This is 16-1. Meaning is, the Blessed Lord said, fearlessness, purity of heart, steadfastness in yoga and knowledge, almsgiving, control of the senses, sacrifice, study of scriptures, austerity, and straightforwardness. Next sloka, 16-2. Ahimsa satyam akrodhas tyagasyantirapaisunam daya bhuteshvalolatvam madhavam hrera chapalam. That is 16-2. Meaning is harmless news, truth, absence of anger, renunciation, peacefulness, absence of crookedness, compassion towards beings, uncovetousness, gentleness, modesty, absence of fickleness. Next sloka, 16-3. Tejakshama dhritishyaucha madroho natimanita bhavanti sampadanda ivim abhijatasya bharata. That is sloka 16-3. Its meaning is vigor, forgiveness, fortitude, purity, absence of hatred, absence of pride. These belong to one born in a divine state, O Arjuna. So this is the meaning of sloka 16-3. You read, understand, and then cultivate these qualities over a period of time. At least see that you cultivate one divine quality over a given span of time. You will slowly overcome that fear complex. Further, you will be able to cultivate all the divine qualities in course of time. Once you cultivate the divine qualities, you become very close to the God Almighty. To start with, man is like 24-karat gold. That means man was as pure as God. But over a span of time, man acquired demonic qualities and cultivated all types of unrighteous nature. Once you get rid of demonical qualities, you will definitely attain divinity or godliness. Man becoming the God is equivalent to impure gold becoming pure gold. Just as you remove impurities in gold to make it pure, get the demonical qualities removed from you so that you become a God once again, which is your original form. God told this in slokas 15-7 and 15-8. But by virtue of his intense devotion acquired through the pleasures of the senses, he or she has lost godliness and became inhuman and lost his or her humanness. Look at the slokas 15-7. Mamaivamso jevaloke jevabhuta sanatanaha manashashtani indriyani prakritistani karshati. Meaning of the sloka is, an eternal portion of myself having become a living soul in the world of life draws to itself the five senses with the mind for the sixth, abiding in nature. Next sloka 15-8. Shariram yadavapnoti yatyapikramatiśvarah gruhitvaitani samyati vayurgandha nivasayat. That is the sloka 15-8. Its meaning is, when the Lord obtains a body, human body, and when he leaves it, he takes the sense along with their samskaras and goes with them. As the wind takes the scents from the seeds, that is flowers, etc. So if we get rid of the demonical qualities and acquire divine qualities, given in sloka 16-1, 16-2, and 16-3 of the Bhagavad Gita, you will lose fear. Read, understand, and practice the advice given in the Bhagavad Gita. Best of luck. Hari Om. Next question, somebody is asking, which is the best available Bhagavad Gita book, English, which has been translated from the original script? My answer is, the best Bhagavad Gita is Gita Makarandam by Swami Vijaya Prakashanandagiri, English. You will love to read and also understand Bhagavad Gita. Once you understand, you tend to practice Bhagavad Gita. Once you practice, you will become a perfect man, as given in slokas 2-54 to 2-72 of the Bhagavad Gita. Hari Om. Next sloka, somebody is asking, can anyone call himself Hindu without reading Bhagavad Gita? My answer is, Hindu scriptures are many in number and are also voluminous. If you devote your whole life, that to full time, you may be able to read and understand all the scriptures. But it is not possible for all, that is everyone, to do that. The summary of Dharma in all the four Vedas, 18 Puranas, 9 Vyakaranas is given in Mahabharata. Again, the summary of all the Dharma given in Mahabharata is given in the gist form in Bhagavad Gita. As most of Hindu scriptures are in Sanskrit, and the present generation people are not speaking Sanskrit, it becomes difficult to read and understand all our Hindu scriptures. So Hindus follow the Dharma, but not able to read all the Hindu scriptures. However, nowadays, people are reading translations of our Hindu scriptures instead of original Sanskrit versions. So, it is not necessary that everyone should read Bhagavad Gita, though it is desirable that all should read Bhagavad Gita. If all people read and understand and follow Bhagavad Gita, the lives of people in general will be very good, and cheating and corruption and crime will come down. Let us cultivate the habit of reading Bhagavad Gita by establishing Gita clubs, Gita associations, Gita forums in villages, in schools, in colleges, and let us conduct discussions, debates, lectures on Bhagavad Gita. This is how Bhagavad Gita knowledge can be spread in the society. Hinduism is not a religion. Hinduism is a way of life and living based on the knowledge enshrined in the scriptural text of Sanatana Dharma. There is no single book that preaches the principles of Hinduism. Bhagavad Gita preaches the principles of life, but not that of religion of Hinduism. Hence, the question of reading of the Bhagavad Gita exclusively by Hindus does not arise, since Bhagavad Gita does not preach about Hinduism. So anyone who has not read or seen or heard of the Bhagavad Gita can call himself a Hindu without any problem. I think I have answered your question. So, next question. Somebody is asking, I am non-vegetarian. Should I read the Bhagavad Gita or not? So this is the question. My answer is, Bhagavad Gita is meant to purify you, your heart, mind, and to make you attain a higher status than your present status. When intention is that, it is better to follow the instructions from a guru. When we went to our Guruji, he had placed many restrictions on how to conduct ourselves for practicing the Bhagavad Gita. One of the conditions he insisted was to refrain from eating non-vegetarian food. We followed Guruji's instructions sincerely, with faith and loyalty. We achieved the purpose for which we went. We are blessed with God's grace. God granted me and my wife Jivan Mukti. Now it is up to you what you would like to do yourself. So please take a decision and what you feel is appropriate. Next question, somebody is asking, how would you describe Bhagavad Gita in 2 words? My answer is, world's constitution. That is the 2 words reply. Bhagavad Gita is the world's constitution based on which God is running this world. Just as India is being run by a constitution called as Indian Constitution, the world also needs constitution to effectively and efficiently run this world. Lord Sri Mahavishnu, the God, the ruler of this world, told about this in Varaha Puranam as follows. Vishnu Ravacha, God said, Gita me ham tishtami, Gita me chottamam graham, Gita jnanam upasritya trin lokan palayamyaham. The meaning of the above sloka is as follows. I am sitting in Gita. Gita is my best abode or place of my residence. Based on the knowledge enshrined in Gita, I am ruling all the 3 worlds. So we can understand that when God is able to rule the 3 worlds below the earth, on the earth, and the worlds above the earth, that is 3 lokams, can we not run our house, our village, our district, our state, our country, our continent, even this world globe as a single unit? The answer is yes, we can, provided we follow the basic principles enshrined in the Bhagavad Gita. All principles embedded or enshrined in the Bhagavad Gita are religion-free, region-free, and language-free. Bhagavad Gita preaches one caste, one religion, and one God. Let us follow that. Sarve jana sukhino bhavantu. Hari Om. Next question somebody is asking, does the Bhagavad Gita represent the short form of the Vedas? Now, my answer is, look at these slokas. Sarva Vedamayi Gita, Sarva Dharmamayo Manuhu, Sarva Tirthamayi Ganga, Sarva Devamayo Harihi. Sarva Tirthamayi Ganga, Sarva Vedamayo Harihi, Sarva Tejomayo Ravihi, Sarva Shastramayi Gita. From the above it is seen that Gita is Sarva Vedamayi and Gita is Sarva Shastramayi. That means Bhagavad Gita is the essence of all Vedas and Shastras. So Bhagavad Gita represents short form of all Vedas. Next question. Somebody is asking, how many languages has the Bhagavad Gita been translated into? Is there any scholarly institute that controls publications? My answer is, I don't think there is any major language in the world into which the Bhagavad Gita has not yet been translated. Recently, Bhagavad Gita has been translated even to Braille, the blind man's language. This shows the importance of the contents of the Bhagavad Gita to the humanity, including the deprived classes of human beings. So next question, somebody is asking, what is the meaning of Gita Sloka 13.2v? My answer is, there is some confusion in the question because the questioner is asking about Sloka 13-2 or some other Sloka. I am not clear because he or she typed the Sloka number as 13-2v and not as 13-2. However, I am giving reply presuming the Sloka is 13-2. The background for Sloka 13-2 is Arjuna asked Lord Krishna 6 questions in Sloka 13-1. These questions are, what are Prakriti and Purusha? What are Kshetram and Kshetrajna? What is meant by Jnanam and Jnayam? The detailed answer given by Lord Krishna to these 6 questions of Arjuna constitute the subject matter of chapter 13 of the Bhagavad Gita. Lord Krishna gave reply to Arjuna about Kshetram and Kshetrajna in slokas 13-2 and 13-3 of the Bhagavad Gita. I am giving below the sloka 13-2 for ready reference. Sri Bhagavan God said, Idam Sariram Kaunteya Kshetrajnamityabhidiyate etadyo vyetitam prahu Kshetrajna iti tadvidaha. That is sloka 13-2. The meaning of the above sloka is as follows. O Kaunteya, this human body is called Kshetram. The person who knows about this Kshetram is called as Kshetrajna, as opined by learned people knowledgeable about Kshetram and Kshetrajna. That means those people who know about Kshetram and Kshetrajna are called as Kshetrajnas. That is sloka 13-2. Now I am giving detailed explanation. The human body from top to toes is called as Kshetram. The person who completely knew about this human body, that is Kshetram, is called as Kshetrajna. This human body, that is Kshetram, is frigid. That means Jadam by itself. That means an item like table is said to be frigid. That is, any item which cannot know about itself or about others is called Jadam. Just as table is Jadam, this human body is also Jadam by itself, as opposed to the meaning of being vital. Chaitanya means it not only knows about itself, but it also knows about others. Anything which has the capacity or prajna to know or which knows about itself and about others is called as Chaitanya. Or in other words, if the human body is called as Jadam, the person knowing the human body as Jadam is called Kshetrajna, that is Chaitanya. That means Jadam is transient, not permanent, and Chaitanya is eternal, that is permanent. Or in other words, in all Andaja, being born out of X, Pindaja, being born out of embryos. Udbija, beings born out of sproutings from seeds. Svedaja, beings born out of sweat and sweat glands, bodies. I am the indwelling Kshetrajna, that is Chaitanyam. To know this knowledge is called as Jnanam, told God. That means in all the living creatures, God is residing as the indwelling Kshetrajna. This is the meaning of the Kshetrajnam, Chapimam Vidhi, as told in Sloka 13-3. Giving a layman's analogy, though the various electrical implements like fan, bulb, motor, TV, cooler, etc. are different, the vital thing that makes all these implements run is the electricity. Without electricity, all the electrical implements are simply ornamental. They can't function. They're all like dead bodies of humans. Similarly, it is God who is providing vitality to all the bodies of living creatures. That is Kshetra. That is, the indwelling Kshetrajna in all bodies of living creatures is none other than God. Without that vitality, that is Kshetrajna, the human body is dead body. And the simple human body, Kshetra, can't speak, can't see, can't hear, can't talk, can't walk, etc. So without Kshetrajna inside the human body, Kshetram is of no value. It is a dead body. I hope I have made it clear to you to understand Sloka 13-2 of the Bhagavad Gita. Haribo. Next, somebody is asking, how much time will it take to understand the meaning of the Bhagavad Gita? My answer is, there is no fixed time period that can make you to understand Bhagavad Gita. To understand Bhagavad Gita fully, you need God's grace. The more devoted you are, the more rewarding would be your experiences. God is pleased by your sincerity and devotion. Above all, you need an enlightened guru to inspire you to read and make you understand the ingrained knowledge hidden in the Bhagavad Gita. You can do like Ekalavya Shishya under an enlightened gurus like Sadguru Maharshi Malayala Swami, Vidya Prakashanandagiri Swami, Shivananda Saraswati Swami, etc. To think that you can read from books and understand Bhagavad Gita fully is like learning cooking by reading books. I am saying this after practicing Bhagavad Gita for over 35 years. One can read Bhagavad Gita in about 2 years' time. But understanding of Bhagavad Gita needs an enlightened guru, Bhagavad Gita written by enlightened guru, and above all, God's grace. Without that, you can't understand Bhagavad Gita. Next, somebody is asking the question, is everything written in Bhagavad Gita significant in today's Western-influenced Indian society? My answer is, to say the least, this is an understatement about the understanding of the Indian public and the Bhagavad Gita. India is not a literate country. Even today, there are more than 40% of the people who are literally illiterate. This gullible Indian public, they may not know how to read Bhagavad Gita, but the dharmic principles are ingrained in their attitude and behavior. Out of 140 million population of India, only 0.25 millions are in jails in India. From this, you can infer what is meant by propensity to crime in India. What is the extent of propensity to crime in India? In other words, the percentage of people in jails in India is 0.019231% of the population. So in advanced countries like USA, out of 300 millions of their population, about 3 millions are in jails. Or in other words, 1% of USA population are in jails in USA. The number of people in jails in USA is 52 times more than in India. So the so-called Western culture of USA has increased the crime rate by 52 times more than in India. So crime rate is more because of Western culture than Indian Bhagavad Gita understanding. Now coming to the influence of Western society, the number of people who are highly educated to get influenced by the Western culture are very few in number. So in fact, if you look at the recent crime statistics, it is only the educated Indian youth who are indulging in crime. Unemployed engineers and other graduates are indulging in more crime in India compared to the illiterate Indian masses. So because of the influence of Bhagavad Gita and the Indian scriptures, the Indian society is still living a peaceful life. It is only because of the influence of our sacred scriptures, the Indian people still believe that what is written in Bhagavad Gita is true and significant, and the life among the illiterate Indians is absolutely peaceful without the adulteration and the vagaries of the external Western aberrated influences. Hari Om. Next, somebody is asking the question, how shall I believe Bhagavad Gita's verses as truth? My answer is, nobody is forcing you to believe Bhagavad Gita's verses. We are under no obligation to believe them either. Only the deserving ones long for lifetime to know, to read and understand Bhagavad Gita. God said in Shloka 4-40 of Bhagavad Gita that ignorant, the ones lacking faith, are not cowed to gain comfort either in this world or in other worlds. God has also further said in Shloka 18-67 that for those who are not devotees of Lord Krishna, who do not worship God, who are not in the habit of serving the learned gurus, and who are ridden with jealousy and hatred, Bhagavad Gita should not be taught. I consider you as non-deserving, and so you don't have to repose any faith in Bhagavad Gita. Please don't bother about Bhagavad Gita and mind your own business. Hari Om. Next question somebody is asking, there are so many books on the Bhagavad Gita. Which author is the best? My answer is, the quality of the contents of the sacred text Bhagavad Gita is determined not by the educational qualification of the author, not by the coveted positions held in office by the author, not by the flowery language and command of the language evidenced by the author, not by the number of copies sold by the author, not whether the book is available in online shopping for electronics, apparel, computers, books, DVDs, and more, or Flipkart, not by appealing advertisements and attractive posters contents posted by the author, not by the number of sales points from which the book is being made available by the author, not by the number of canvassing agents appointed by the author to promote the sale of the book, not by the influence of propaganda executed by the author in promoting sale of the book, not by trumpeting services mobilized from more points by the author, but by the amount of tapas did by the author, but by the amount of devotion and dedication the author has got for the Bhagavad Gita, but the amount of enlightenment achieved by the author. An author who has got enlightenment to be able to interpret Bhagavad Gita as originally intended by God. Such enlightened people who authored Bhagavad Gita are but rare. Only Swami Shivananda wrote Bhagavad Gita in English. The second Bhagavad Gita available in English is a translation from Gita Makarandam by Swami Vidya Prakashananda Swami. Though other enlightened souls authored Bhagavad Gita, they are not in English. Myself and my wife, both Jivan Muktas and Grihasthus from Vyasashrama Sampradaya authored the Bhagavad Gita entitled Srimad Bhagavad Gita Mukti Sopanamu Tatparya Saita Vyakhyanam by Dr. Vudde Shivkesi. In Telugu, after we both were blessed by God and gave us both Jivan Mukti. So, I have given how to get the copy of the Bhagavad Gita written by me at some other place. Please refer to those answers. So, next question is, what are the merits of listening to Srimad Bhagavad Gita Parayanam? My answer is, the merits of listening to Srimad Bhagavad Gita Parayanam are given in the Bhagavata Mahima, as narrated by Lord Krishna to Brahmadeva in the following slokas. Slokardham Slokapadam va Nityam Bhagavatodbhavam Pathate shrunuyat yastu gosahasra phalam labhet. The meaning of the above sloka is as follows. He who every day listens to half sloka or quarter sloka of Bhagavatam, that person begets the punyam of having donated 1,000 cows. Srimad Bhagavatam punyam ayur arogya pushtidam patana travanadvapi sarva papai pramuchyati. The meaning of the above sloka is as follows. This pious Bhagavata Puranam gives long life, health, and strength. Further, by doing its Parayanam or listening to it, the human being is getting rid of all his papas. Matkatha Vachakam Nityam, Matkatha Shravane Radham, Matkatha Pretamanasam, Naham Tekshami Tam Naram. The meaning of the above sloka is as follows. I, that is God, will not ever renounce the person who is narrating my katha, that is story, who is evincing keen interest in listening to it, and the person who is deriving mental satisfaction by listening to my story. I hope this meets your requirement. Now, next question is somebody is asking, why is the spiritual aspirant referred to as he in the Bhagavad Gita instead of keeping the gender neutral? My answer is, Bhagavad Gita is a universal text meant for whole of humanity, irrespective of religion, region, or sex. Showing Arjuna as a pretext or ruse, Lord Krishna gave the celestial message of Bhagavad Gita to the entire humanity without any gender discrimination. If you bring the reference of the specific sloka number in Bhagavad Gita, I can answer your question. Next question, somebody is asking, as the Gita has been interpreted in different ways, which one do you suggest as good to read? My answer is, if you want to really understand the underlying intentions of Lord Krishna, you must read the original text of Bhagavad Gita in Sanskrit format through a learned guru. However, this is not possible for ordinary people who are immersed in worldly matters. Then the other option available is to at least read the commentary of Bhagavad Gita written by Swamijis who have been bestowed with the blessings of the God or who have been enlightened by God. It is only then you will get the indisputable interpretation of Bhagavad Gita and you will have the unequivocal recognition of the supremacy of Bhagavad Gita's commentary as Bhagavan's true representative's commentary. My understanding is limited to my own Guru Parampara. However, my understanding is correct and doubtless. The best Bhagavad Gita commentary I had read is from Sri Sadguru Maharshi Malayala Swami. He left home at the age of 17 years and roamed throughout India up and down on foot twice in search of God. He did most rigorous tapas on the 7 hills of Lord Sri Venkateswara, Tirumala, for 12.5 years and got the blessings of God. That was in 1926. After enlightenment, he started an ashram at Erpedu near Tirupati in Chittoor district of JP, and it is known as Yasashrama. As on today, it has about 150 ashramas under its banner. He, that is Malayal Swami, wrote Srimad Bhagavad Gita in Telugu called Gitardha Prakashamu. This is the best commentary on Bhagavad Gita I have read. Among some 25 to 30 Bhagavad Gita commentaries I came across. Next best one is from Sri Vidya Prakashananda Giri entitled Gita Makarandam in Telugu. Its English translation is available. Sri Vidya Prakashananda Swami is the direct disciple of Sri Malayala Swami and established an ashramam in Srikalahasti called Sukha Brahmashramam. Myself and my wife have authored a unique commentary in Telugu, which is easily comprehensible even with elementary education and is entitled Srimad Bhagavad Gita Mukti Sopanamu Tatparya Sahita Vyakhyaanamu by Dr. Uday Sivakesam. We both, myself and my wife, are blessed by God and are granted Jivan Mukti. Next good one is from Madhusudana Saraswati Swami in Sanskrit. Next one is from Sri Shankaracharya and the next one is from Shivananda Saraswati Swami in English. You can read any one of them for enlightenment and correct understanding of the Bhagavad Gita. Most of other commentaries on Bhagavad Gita have commercial moorings and are also written by Pandits or scholars, but not by God-blessed people. So I advise you to read only Bhagavad Gita written by God-blessed people. Those are not scholars, Pandits in languages. Next question somebody is asking, does the Gita contain the information of all four Vedas? My answer is, it is written fact as well as an unwritten dictum or law that Bhagavad Gita is the essence of all scriptures. Sarva Shastramayi Gita, Sarva Vedamayo Harihi, Sarva Tirthamayi Ganga, Sarva Tejo Mayo Ravihi. The meaning of the above sloka is as follows. Bhagavad Gita is the essence of all the Shastras. They said Hari is the God of all gods referred to in all the Vedas. In the same way, as the river Ganga is referred to as the essence of all the Tirthas, and in the same way, the sun is the brightest and most glowing illumination of all that is capable of glowing in the universe. In Skanda Puranam, it is averred that Ashtadasya Puranani Navavyakarnani cha Nirmajya Chitro Vedan Maninam Bharatam Kritam. Bharatodadi Nirmajya Gita Nirmaditasya cha Saramurjitya Krishnena Arjunasya Mukhe Dhritam. That means Mahabharatam was written by sage Vedavyasa by churning of 18 Puranas, 9 Vyakaranas and 4 Vedas. Lord Krishna has further turned the Mahabharata consisting of 1 lakh slokas and took out the cream of Mahabharata. This cream of Mahabharata, cream in the form of nectar, is filled as the essence in 700 slokas of Bhagavad Gita and fed into Arjuna's mouth. Arjuna acted as the representative of the whole humanity. So if you read and understand Bhagavad Gita, you don't have to read other Vedas or Puranas or Upanishads or any other scriptures, as Bhagavad Gita contains the essence of all the information given in all the scriptural texts. So next question, somebody is asking, was Arjuna the first to learn the knowledge imparted in the Bhagavad Gita, and how much was already common knowledge? My answer is, if you read Shloka 4-1, you don't get the impression that Arjuna was the first recipient of this more secretive than the most secretive teachings of this Bhagavad Gita Shastra. God said, Imam vivasvate yugam praktavaanaham avyayam vivasman manave praha manurikshvakave bravid. That is Shloka 4-1 of the Bhagavad Gita. Meaning of the above Shloka is as follows. This immortal and indestructible Shastram of Karma Yogam was told by me, that is God, in the past to Vivasvat, that is Surya Bhagavan. Sun told this to Vaivasvata Manu, that is the person responsible for the begetting of the human race. And the Manu told this to Ikshvaku, Maharaj, that is forefathers of Lord Rama. This eternal Shastram of Nishkama Karma Yogam is not of recent origin. This was told by me, that is God, to Sun some long times ago. This Nishkama Karma Yogam cleanses the Atma, and as a result, it will result in the Atma getting liberated, that is attaining moksham. Yavam parampara praptamimam rajarshayo viduhu sakala neha mahata yogo nashtaha parantapa. This is Shloka 4-2 of the Bhagavad Gita. The meaning of the Shloka 4-2 is as follows. O Arjuna, this yogam which was being inherited dynastically was getting spread from generation to generation right through the Ikshvaku Maharaj. But this yogam has now got eliminated from practice because the disciplic succession was broken on its way. Sadguru Maharshi Malayala Swami gave a beautiful explanation for breaking up of this practice of Nishkama Karma Yogam, extracting the details from Adi Parvam, first chapter of Mahabharata. In the Treta Yugam, a king by name Karta Viryarjuna killed sage Jamadagni, the father of Parasuram, by entering into his Jamadagni's ashram and to take away the Kamadhenu from the sage Jamadagni. When sage Jamadagni refused to part with his Kamadhenu, the king Karta Viryarjuna got enraged that Jamadagni was not obliging even the king and beheaded him and took away the Kamadhenu. On learning about the death of his saintly father, Parasuram got terribly annoyed at the careless attitude of the king, and out of anger, Parasuram invaded all the kingdoms 21 times and destroyed or eliminated all rulers or kings. As a result, the ruling dynasties of the kings had completely got routed, and there were no successors to practice the Niskama Karma Yoga. Hence, the Shastram, though was of very old nature, got completely obsolete for lack of practitioners of Niskama Karma Yoga, as told by Lord Krishna to Arjuna in slokas 4-1 and 4-2 of chapter 4 of Bhagavad Gita. As this was being practiced those days only by Rajarshis, that is, kings belonging to the Kshatriya clans, this was not in the common knowledge of public. It was limited by practice within the ruling royal families of kings or Rajarshayo. So Arjuna was not the first person who was imparted the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, but the sun god was the first person who was told about the knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita by Lord Sri Mahadev. I hope I have given you an answer to. So, next question is, who is I in the Bhagavad Gita? Who is the Bhagavad Gita? This was originally answered, who is I in the Bhagavad Gita? Some say it is Shiva, some say Krishna, but Krishna uses I many times. So if we suppose I is Shiva, then it doesn't mean I is every time Shiva. My answer is, Bhagavad Gita was preached by Lord Krishna to Arjuna in particular and to humanity in general. Lord Krishna told very unequivocally that he is the creator, sustainer, and the destroyer of the universe. He dealt with these issues in chapters 7, 9, and 8 of the Bhagavad Gita. Lord Krishna also told that it is he who is running this universe, and he knows the past, the present, and the future. That is, as given in sloka 7-26 of the Bhagavad Gita, about everything in the universe. Lord Krishna also further told that it is he who is eternal, everlasting, perennial, and perpetual in this world. Lord Krishna also told his attributes as God in sloka 8-9 of Bhagavad Gita. Lord Krishna further described the relation between him and God and this material world in slokas 9-4, 9-5, and 9-6 of Bhagavad Gita. Lord Krishna also told it in no uncertain terms that this entire universe is his manifestation, and there is nothing here in this world devoid of him as God. This he told in detail in chapter 10 of the Bhagavad Gita. To prove Lord Krishna's point that he is God, he manifested himself as God and showed his effulgent form to Arjuna in chapter 11 of the Bhagavad Gita. There is no difference between Lord Krishna and Lord Shiva, as both are different forms of God. However, during Mahabharata time, God manifested himself as Lord Krishna, but not as Lord Shiva. My dear friends, there is only one God. We call him by different names. God is only one. Ekam Prabhuda. Just as we eat different items to suit our taste and satiate our hunger, different forms of God appeal to different people differently. But they are all different forms of the same God. For some, Shiva is dear, and for us, Lord Krishna is dearer. Yet for some more, Lord Rama may be the dearest. They are all different forms of same God. This is told in the Bhagavad Gita in chapter 4, slokas 4-7 and 4-8. So, throughout Bhagavad Gita, wherever there is a reference as I, it means it is Lord Krishna as God. I hope your doubt is dispelled. If you are still in doubt, I can throw some more light to dispel your doubts. Hari Om. Hari Om. So, let me give the prayer and close today's pravachanam. Om yadaksharapadabrashtum matra heenam ched bhavet tatsarvam kshamyatam deva paramesha namostute. Harihi Om Tat Sat.
ఇవాళ బాగా వచ్చిందండి రికార్డింగ్ అంతా, చాలా బాగా వచ్చిందా?
ఓన్లీ సంతోషం. ఇంకేంటి వెంకటరత్నం?
అయ్యా, ఇవాళ ఇంకా శివరాత్రి కదా అండి, అది శివుడికి సంబంధించి చదువుకుంటూ రాత్రిపూట మంత్ర జపం కొంచెం ఎక్కువసేపు చేసుకుందామని ఆలోచన. శనివారం ఆదివారం కొంచెం తక్కువే, అంటే కొంచెం బయటికి వెళ్ళి అవి ఇవి చూసుకొని, మిగతా రోజుల్లో మాత్రం ఎక్కువ చేస్తున్నాను.
ఆదివారం జనరల్ గా హాలిడే కదా.
అవునా అవునా,
వేరే కమిట్మెంట్స్ కూడా ఉంటాయి.
అవునా అవునా.
మనం అందరికీ ఇది కన్వీనియంట్ అని శనివారం ఆదివారం పెట్టుకున్నాం.
అవును అవును అవునా.
ఏంటి చెప్పండి. ముగిద్దామా మరి?
ముగిద్దామండి అయ్యా.
ఓకే, హరి ఓం.
హరి ఓం.
హరి ఓం.